welcome to the Inspiring Inkin Facebook page. I'm Amanda Fowler. It is a Tuesday, the 22nd of October. If you are here with me, can you give me some hearts or leave me a message? I will check to see who is here. And I'm just going to plug my phone in so we don't run out of charge part way through. And let's see. Oh, I'm alive, I'm alive. I think I am. Need to be a bit taller. That's a bit better. Oh, so Angela is here, Rosie's here, Pat's here, Maureen's here, Michelle's here. Marvellous. Right. Hi, Angela. I've got coffee today. It's been a tough morning already. How's your day going? Oh dear. Hi, Sally. So, what's new then? What have you been up to since last we spoke? Last week? We haven't really been up to that much. I was trying to, when I was writing my blog post yesterday, I was thinking, what exactly did we do at the weekend? We did a bit of work, a bit of shopping, got rained on a lot. But yeah, we didn't actually do very much, which is probably a good thing. You know, that's what weekends are for. Put your feet up. Yeah, so what have you guys been doing? Donna's here. Jen saying hello to everyone. Anne saying good afternoon. She's in soggy Yorkshire. That would ruin your Sunday roast, wouldn't it? A soggy Yorkshire. Soggy here too. Janet's here, Deb's here, Belinda's here, Faye's here. And Angela's been drinking coffee as well. Oh, and it's Donna's here from Bega in Australia. Am I saying that right, Donna? And she says it's cold and wet. You see, I in my head, Australia's never cold and never wet. But it's definitely on my list to come visit when we're allowed out again. So there we go. Right, so public service announcement first. Please be aware that credit card fraud and bank fraud is on the rise. I've heard from several friends over the last few days that they are having bizarre charges on their card from Amazon. And actually several other people with other fraudulent activity. Now, we all use our cards, bank cards, credit cards, all over the internet these days. Actually, I was trying to remember the last time I used cash, and it was like months ago. But please get into the habit of checking your bank statements. So, yeah, just go check them, because I just think it's really important. You know, we assume things are all okay, but some of these weird charges have been like £10 or £20, which might kind of pass you by. So do go and check your bank statements and card details and stuff. And should you have any fraudulent charges, then get straight in touch with your bank or your card supplier. Card provider. I think that's, yeah, and they have fraud teams and they'll fix you right up. But, you know, it's just worth checking. So, okay, so that's my public service announcement today. I have got some cards, or a card to make. I think it's going to be a card because there's lots of bits. But I've got some really cool cards to show you. And what else? What else have I got to tell you? Oh, the patterned paper sale finishes at the end of the month. So make sure that you've stocked up on your favourites. 15% off at the moment. Not on all papers, but quite a few of them in the annual catalogue. So check those out. On the 4th of November, I'm trying to work out what day that is. Hang on. Let me get my calendar up. November 4th. Ooh, it might be the 3rd. I think it's the 3rd, which is next Tuesday. Yes, next Tuesday. So next Tuesday, we've got the launch of several things. So the first thing is, it's called Curvy Celebrations. And there's a little bit of a sneak peek. Actually, I've got a better sneak peek for you here, look. Let me show you. So, there are some really cool dies here, and this cool stamp set. That's a bundle. And then there's a Christmas version here, and Christmas paper as well. So these Christmas ones are exclusive until the end of December. But these ones, these two here, are sneak peeks from the Spring Summer catalogue that launches in January. But it's very cool. Very fancy dies. If I show you, there's a couple of cards with the projects on. So you can see that's kind of one of the curvy dies. And that bit there. It's really cool. Really pretty, really cool. So that's launching next Tuesday. So not today, a week today. And then also on Tuesday, we've got a kit launching, which is this. It's a paper pumpkin kit, and it's called Joy to the World, and you make 8 cards for each of those designs. So they're die cut pieces and things. So there's a little bit of stamping and popping out and gluing and stuff. So that's a nice kit. That's £20, and that is going to be launching on Tuesday as well. Okay, so let me just check on the messages. Let's see. Viv's here, Maureen's here, Rosie's here, my mum's here. Hi, mum. Janet's here. She says she's a bit damp, but not in spirit. You've been out in the rain, Janet. Right, so Debbie is here from Minnesota. Pash has said, ooh. So this is the sort of thing that I'm talking about. Pat says that her bank has just called her to say that somebody tried to take £600 out of her account, but they blocked it. So yeah. So and this is the thing, and I think it's just important that we all keep an eye on things. So yeah. So it's really good news, Pat, that they've sorted that out. Okay. So I've told you about the new announcements, told you about that. Debbie is saying the Joy to the World kit is a bargain. She has it because you're in the States, aren't you, Debbie? So they got that last month. Jane's here. Hi, Jane. Okay, so I have some cards to show you that have been made for me. So this one's from Lynn Freeman. And this is the, I can't remember when we did this. This is, I love it when I can't remember things. I did a sort of starburst card like this here on Craft and Chat. I don't know when it was. It was a while ago, but isn't that beautiful? I'm loving the tones in this. It's really cool. And there's really cool embossing and stuff. And she wrote lovely words inside, which is always really nice. And then this is a card from Anne. And again, this is a variation of something that I did here as well. We called it tiles, and you've got little strips of paper and you cut them and you rearrange them. And she's embossed it, and it's just really cool. Isn't that cool? And she wrote really lovely words inside as well. So Anne, thank you very much. And guess what else Anne sent me? And I want you all to be proud of me because I've had this for a week. She sent me these. So if you were here was it last week? 2 weeks ago? I was talking about a tea that I have. And it's called Raspberry Ruffle Tea. And it's a black tea, but it tastes of raspberries and chocolate, like this bar. And look, it's not open. I have not opened it. I will be opening it as soon as I've finished being live. That's so cool. Thank you very much. So in case you're wondering, yes, I love chocolate. I love all types of chocolate actually. Dark chocolate is my absolute favourite. But yeah, I don't think there is any chocolate that I would ever say no to be honest. And saying I better eat them in case they go off. No, I better eat them so Brian doesn't steal them. Oh, so Jackie is saying she's done an Amazon order and one parcel got lost. So that's not good either. Yeah, it's not good. And Debbie saying she's a chocoholic. Yeah. Yeah. Chocolate and coffee. That's, you know, all my major food groups covered. Right, I'm going to have a slurp of my coffee. Thanks, Faye. She's going to catch us on the replay. Hope we have fun. Yeah, we always have fun. We always have fun. Speaking of fun, the scarf is nearly ready to be revealed, obviously for next week. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, we are having a crochet along next week, starting next week. And it will be here on the Facebook page at 3:30. So I'll be live with my normal craft and chat, which is what you're watching now. And then we'll give everyone a chance to go and grab a cuppa, and then we're going to have the craft along. Now, I am getting quite a few questions about it. Lots of people who've never crocheted before. So what I am going to suggest you do is make sure you join the Inspiring Inkin Crafting Corner group, which is my Facebook group. And over the next few days, I'm going to be putting some links in there to some videos that I have found really, really useful to get started. So it will cover the very basics. Now, the thing that you need to know with crochet, and I promise I'm not going to talk about this all afternoon, but the thing you need to know about crochet, the same as anything, you have to practice to get it right. But straight is overrated. If you end up with a wonky scarf, it's beautiful, it will be unique to you, and I don't want you to worry about it. Okay? So this isn't ever going to be a test. This is going to be about us having a bit of yarn fun as well as paper crafting fun. So do go over to the Inspiring Inkin Crafting Corner group. So I'll put links to some videos there. And you know, you can take pictures of what you're doing with crochet, and there are lots of people in the group there that crochet already, so they can help. But yeah, it's going to be fun. So what else? Amanda's here. Belinda's saying chocolate is her idea of comfort food. Debbie's buying her crochet hook and yarn today. Yay, Debbie! So, Belinda, Sally's saying that chocolate is her comfort food too. Yeah, Jackie's saying yarn while we yarn. Yes, we can chat while we do. So that's good. Okay, so nobody's told me what you've been up to this week. Who's been making things? Who's been gardening? Who's been out in the rain? Has it been raining everywhere? Or is it just Hampshire and Yorkshire? Oh, and Australia. It's just, you know. Oh, Kerry's made it. Hooray. Kerry, I have replied to your email. Thank you for that. That was very helpful. Right. What else? Come on then. Tell me what you've been making. I was supposed to be doing my Christmas cake this weekend. It didn't happen. But the fruit is currently marinating in its bath of whiskey. Yeah. So I think the recipe calls for, I don't know, like 3 or 4 tablespoons. That's not enough. So, yeah, I just keep topping it up and pouring more whiskey in it. And obviously all the fruit just soaks it all up, which is really cool. Although Brian did say, who's going to be coming at Christmas to eat the Christmas cake? That made me sad. Since everybody, apart from my mum and dad, all the rest of my family are all locked down. So they're all in tier 3. So that's all a bit rubbish. So they can't come out for like 28 days and we can't go in. That's getting a bit too close to Christmas for my liking. But anyway, so it could be, I'm making the Christmas cake anyway because I am hopeful. I am hopeful that something will happen and they'll be released. And if not, then Brian and I will eat Christmas cake for breakfast, lunch and dinner. It'll be fine. It's really nice with cheese actually, so it would make a nice lunch. Right. Okay, so let's have a look. Card making and crochet. Ooh. Kerry's having 5 inches of her hair chopped off today. Goodness me. It's not raining in Perth in Western Australia. It's raining in Devon. Ah, right. So Rosie's been card making and crocheting and had an operation. Angela's made a card but posted it yesterday. Chris has been making cards. Debbie's also saying, yes, Debbie, I forgot about that. Thank you. This paper pumpkin kit, there is a Facebook group. And it's about matching up people for pen pals as well. So you could get yourself a global pen pal. And also there are some hints and tips about doing different things with the contents of the paper pumpkin kit. So it's worth looking at that as well. Marion has started her Christmas cards. Donna's saying she's been crocheting since she was 8 and she's 62 now. Her great-grandmother taught her, and yes, practice is important. Yeah, so this is one of the things that I'm going to be saying next week, Donna. I've been crocheting for precisely 10 months. So the way I do things isn't probably the proper way, but it works. and I enjoy it and I have fun and I can make things. So yeah, I'm hoping that everyone's going to be able to understand my pattern and everything else, but I'll be there. I'll be able to explain what I mean. It'll be fine. And I know that within this community that we have, there are lots of people with way more experience than me. that can help along the way as well. Jackie's saying it's too wet to garden. And she's been visiting her dad in hospital. Janet's finishing a big blanket, crochet, edging and trying to fit some cards in as well. Donna's been crocheting edges round 12 face washers. Oh no, Jackie couldn't actually see her dad in hospital because there were no appointments. Anne's made some Christmas cards. Jane's lost her mojo. Sending you a hug, Jane. I wish I could send you a real hug, give you a real hug. We all lose our mojo sometimes, and I get that. And the world isn't exactly the best, the best thing. So hang out with us, see some stuff that we've been making, do something creative of some form, and see how you go. But come over to the Inspiring Inking Crafting Corner group as well and see what other people are doing. Or go and get a hook and some yarn and do some crazy crochet with us. Kerry's making boxes. It's turning into an illness. She has no use for them, but she can't stop. Yeah, but stack them up, Kerry. You will find a use for them. Claire's here. Enjoyment of any craft is the main thing. Absolutely. Oh, but she does have her crochet book and wool, says Jane. Yes, that's awesome. Apparently the sun is out in Pontypridd. So Wales has got sunshine, but we can't come to visit you. We're not allowed into Wales now. Mum, you're really lovely. So my mum's just said she doesn't think there's a proper way to crochet. You do it however you do it is fine. Yeah. Thanks, Mum. And Pat has been knitting a baby's cardigan. Yeah, you see, I'm trying just to stick with the crochet and not get all my knitting out, because I do knit as well. But I found another box of knitting stuff yesterday. So yeah, yarn is taking over the house. Right, so shall we get on with some card making? I think that would be a plan. I'm hoping I've got everything here. Like I said, it's been a bit of a bonkers morning. So we'll see. We'll go on a voyage of discovery with the card making. I'm going to slurp my coffee and move it out of the way so there's no danger of me tipping it all over the place, which is often likely, and that's a bit of a worry, isn't it? That means buried under the stuff that's on my desk somewhere is my Tombow, which clearly didn't have its lid put on. Let's see. Let's see if it's blocked up. No, we're good. Hooray! So my Tombow's fine. Okay. So, right. Before I start, I just want to talk to you about this. So this is my Simply Scored board. And I have got a dark line here at 6 inches. And I've drawn that line on my board with a Sharpie pen, permanent marker. And in order to do today's technique, you need that on your scoreboard, because it will make what we're going to do much easier than if you haven't got it. Does that make sense? So if you're going to do this technique, you need to do that. Now, please let it dry. Sharpie markers, they're alcohol markers, and they should dry fairly quickly, but you're going into the groove and the ink will pool. So draw the line and then put it to one side, let it dry properly. Okay, right, so let's, oh my word. Okay, so what else have we got? Sheridan says she's in agreement with Mum. She's knitting a Highland cow. So Sheridan, are you in the Inspiring Inking group, the Crafting Corner group? Can you share a picture of your cow, please? Actually, and everybody. So Pat, you were doing a baby's cardigan. Janet and Anne, all of the things. Go and post them in there, because we all are inspired by other people. So if you've ever gone into a group like that or gone on Pinterest or whatever and been inspired by somebody, please know that you will inspire us. So I want to see your creations and yeah, share them. And the group is open for everybody. So, and you don't have to just share paper craft, you can share any craft. So Anne and Sylvianne are here. Lovely to see you. Okay, so I'm gonna cover you over and turn the camera around so we can get crafting here on the table. Ta-da. Right, let's just try and get that wire out of the way. Is the sound okay for everybody today? Do join the group, Sheridan. That would be really cool. Okay, so let me move that out of the way. And to get my scoreboard in. And some cardstock. I've got all sorts of stamps today that I'm using. Gone for really kind of autumnal colours, look. Early espresso, crumb cake and old olive. Debbie's just shared the video. Please do share. If you share it on your own Facebook page, that's really helpful. It just means that I get put my teeth in correctly. It just means that I get to reach more people and potentially they come and hang out with us as well. Okay. So this technique is called the faux tile technique, and there are lots and lots of different ways that you can do this. So I'm going to show you a few different ways and then I'm going to make a card. Okay, so the first thing that I will show you is you can do this straight, like what I would consider to be straight on or on a diagonal. Okay, so straight on is really straightforward. You pick a distance. So in this case, I am scoring every ½ an inch. And I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to score every ½ an inch going this way. And this is the bit at which I discover that the camera's not going to be able to pick it up because it's on vanilla card. We will see. So you hopefully can see this. I'm hoping. So you've got a grid, and where the score lines are, it's like the grout of a tile. So when you stamp over this, the image will be broken where that dimple is. So it will look like that they're grout lines. Okay, so you can do that at sort of 1/2 inch intervals. That gives you a really small grid. You can do that on the diagonal. So that's what I'm going to show you now. And that is what you need this line for here. So what you do is you put your piece of cardstock in at that point, and mine's at the 6 inch, but then the other edge goes, at the point goes onto that line, onto the black line. Hopefully you'll be able to see. I'll just move it up a little bit so you can see just here. And that means that it is exactly straight. And you know, I say straight is overrated for most things, but when you're doing something like this, you need it to be straight. Right, put my coffee down. Now, this is a tiddly bit fiddly. So go slowly, don't rush this. So put your ball tool in and pull it down, and you're going to go down that center line and then pick. So I'm actually going to do this one at 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to the right first and then I'll do to the left. So I'm going at 6 3/4 inches and then 7 1/2 inches and then 8 1/4 inches, and each time keep making sure that your point is on that line, and then going this way I'm doing 3/4 of an inch again, so that's 5 1/4, 4 1/2 and 3 3/4. So you've got these diagonal lines at 3/4 of an inch. So then I'm going to turn it around and put the opposite corner in and do exactly the same. So I'm going corner to corner and then going 3/4 of an inch, 7 1/2, 8 1/4, 5 1/4, 4 1/2, and then that's 3 3/4. Okay, so that gives you this beautiful edging, or scoring. And actually it looks really nice on the reverse. So you can actually use this, and let me show you, look, that looks really cool too. You can use this as just a technique to make a pretty pattern. Because you know, sometimes you want a bit of texture, but you might think, I can't be bothered to get my die cutting machine out and do an embossing. So you can just do this. It's really cool. I really like it. Okay, so this is really nice. I really like this. But when I was doing it, I was thinking, the tiles on my wall aren't diamonds. They're squares or they're oblongs. So I thought, okay, well that's really nice, but I want them to be squares. How do I make them squares? So this is how you make them squares. You have to get a pencil. Now, I'm not a fan of measuring, but you need a pencil. A pencil and an eraser. So, this piece of card is my standard layer that goes on the front of a card. It's 3 1/2 inches wide. and it's 5 1/4 inches long. It's 3 1/2 inches wide. So what you have to do is you have to mark this at 3 1/2 inches. Okay, and then you just need to mark it there again. So line that up at 3 1/2 inches like that. Okay, so that's 3 1/2 inches from that way, but then 3 1/2 inches from that way. Does that make any sense? I hope it does. So basically what I did was I put a mark there at 3 1/2 inches, and then I put the mark in at the 6, and then I lined it up on that black line. Okay? Are you still with me? I hope so. I hope so. Okay, so in order to get the diamond pattern, we did corner to corner, didn't we? So in order to get a square, what you're going to do is you put the point in there, and that little pencil line that you've put in, that's where you're going to line it up. Okay, so for this card, so I'm going to score down there, and I'm going to score at inch intervals. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, and then this way is 5 and 4. Then we're going to turn it round this way, so my point's going in, and then my little pencil line there, and again I'm scoring at the 6 inch, at the 7 inch, at the 8 inch, 5, right, hold on to it tightly, 4 and 3, and look, still diamonds but square diamonds. So that looks much more like tiles to me, and the reverse again is really cool. And all you have to do then is just rub out those pencil lines. Okay, so this is the piece that we're going to be using, but I need 2 of them. So I'm going to do this one really quickly. Da, 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 pencil line. And that will give you the chance to ask any questions if you've got any questions. So each time I am lining it up with the square bit. Okay. Doesn't look like there are any questions. That's cool. Right. I need some grid paper. I'm going to be stamping off the edge. Let's grab some of that. Okay. Ooh. So, what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to cut to make like a little diamond shape. Good morning, Carol. Oh no, good afternoon, Carol, and good morning, Llewellyn. What we are doing, Carol, is we're making, it's a technique called faux tile. And I've been scoring cardstock to make different things. So you will see what we're making in a minute because I haven't shown anyone yet. So I'm just snipping this off. So I've just got this little piece here because of what I'm going to do, and of course it would be better if I'd have had that in different colour, is I am going to do a little bit of sponging. Now, this is going to take a minute or two. And I'm going to use crumb cake. Right, so Angela's just asked a question. When you're scoring, can you turn it around to make it easier when you're scoring on the right? So what you mean is, so when I'm scoring, hang on. Yeah, so when I'm scoring, can you flip it around? I don't know. Hang on. Let me use that one because that one's easier. So you would score it that way. Can you flip it around? Yes. Yes is the answer, Angela. So what Angela's saying is, when you've scored to the right hand side, can you turn the card around, or like, so it goes from that way, and then we want to score this side, and I was reaching across, but what she's saying is, can you turn it round and score that way? And the answer is a yes, you can. What my mother is saying is you just do it left-handed because she's left-handed. So it's not helpful. No. So if you are left-handed, actually, all joking apart, you may find, and this is what I teach at class actually, you may find using your scoreboard sideways on helps, either that way or that way. Which way do you use yours, Mum? That way, I think. Yeah, I think you use it that way. Yeah, I know. My mum's ambidextrous. She can use both hands, but she is actually left-handed. So, but a lot of my customers who are also left-handed, this is the way that I get them to use their scoreboard. Because it's easier. So, Angela, yes, you can do that. Okay. Right. So, what we're going to do is, not on that piece, on this piece, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do the stamping. So, I've got some old olive ink and I'm using 3 stamp sets because I can. So I'm using this one, which is Positive Thoughts, and we're using the leaves and the little butterfly. We're using the script here from Very Versailles, which is really cool. And then I'm going to put Happy Birthday on it. So I'm using this family party stamp set. Now, all of the products that you see in the video today, you can purchase in my online store. If your order is more than £30 or €35, you'll get a free class, which is taking place in November. It's called Craft Along, and we're going to be doing Christmas cards, Christmas projects. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be using the In the Pines set, which is really cool. And so the bookings for that class end at the end of October, so in a few days' time. If you're not placing an order this month and you still want to join in, you can purchase the kit online. So I will make sure that there's details. But if you can't find the details, then just message me or email me and I'll send you a link. So family party, this is another stamp set that I talk about all the time. This has got everything that you need for a birthday card. So you've got all of the family names, but then a really lovely happy birthday and numbers and second, third, first, fourth. So the ND and the RD and the ST and the TH. It's really cool. Debbie's saying that Very Versailles is on her wish list. Yeah, I think it should be on everyone's wish list for that stamp, if nothing else. It's really, really cool. Okay. So, stamping. Where's my stamp? Okay, so here's the fern, and I'm using Old Olive. Now, you are going to stamp on this with the hollow bit facing you. So not the bumpy side, but the hollow bit, so where you actually scored. And don't press too hard when you're stamping. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to press really hard and then squash it so that the stamp goes in the grooves, because that's the whole point of this technique, that it doesn't go in the grooves. Okay, so let's go like so. I'm just going to hold it for a second, but I'm not pressing hard. Ta-da! Can you see it's broken where the grout line is? So I'm going to put another one there. And again, I'm just holding it for a second so the ink transfers really well. But I'm not pressing hard. So let's go this way. And there. And then one more that way. There we go. So you can already see there's quite a lot of the lines. Then I'm going to use this really cool text set. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp it off several times. I only want a tiny bit of ink, and I'm just going to put a little bit here and there. Okay. So again, it's giving it a little bit of texture, but not a huge amount. And then, so this second piece that I scored, I'm going to use this as a mask. Now let me just kind of show you this a bit close up. So this works beautifully just as it is. So if I just matte and layer it, because then that'll give you a bit more, it will give you a bit more of a look. Yeah, it's a really, really cool technique. So it works really well just like that. Okay, but if you want to step it up, sponge dauber, crumb cake ink. I'm firstly going to go around the edge. And I get asked quite a lot about sponging and sponge dauber. Just make sure that you have only a tiny, tiny bit of ink on. You can always add more ink, but you can't take it off. And just a light strokes. Okay, so already that's just lifted that like so. Oh, Sylviane, thank you. She's saying that I'm making it interesting. Thank you. And easy. We like easy. Okay, so now we're going to use this as a mask, and what you're going to do is you're going to put it onto the card, and where I've cut that square out, actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim it a tiny bit more, because what I've done is I've cut where that piece has been scored. And what you're going to do is you are going to line it up and make sure that it covers the grout, okay? Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to keep that grout clean, okay? You don't want ink in the grout. So you're going to put that there, and we're going to do a little bit of sponging. Now, you can tell it's getting serious because I'm taking my glasses off. I think I need my eyes tested again. Anyway, I'm going to try and make sure my head's not in shot. So, cover over the grout line. Use your sponge and just put a tiny bit. Now, I can see, I've just gone here and I can see this is really dark. So I'm going to take loads of ink off. And I'm just doing a little bit. So basically what I'm doing is just putting a little bit of colour on the bottom part of that square. And if I remove it, you'll be able to see. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that on every single one. So you guys are going to have to chat amongst yourselves or while I do this, because it's going to take a little bit of time. But this is so worth it. And just a little bit in each of the bases of these. And what it's going to do, just makes it pop a little bit more. So remember, each time just make sure that you are covering over those grout lines. Whoa. Try and keep it pinned down. And you'll get to the point where you think there's hardly any ink left on your sponge dauber, but you will be surprised that there will be a tiny, tiny bit left, and it'll be okay. You probably won't need to re-ink it. Ooh, there we go. Let's pop that one. And then you'll be able to go back and just double check which ones you've missed out. I can see that the comments are moving, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on just doing these last few bits, and then I will check out all your comments. And if you're watching this on the replay, you won't be able to see the comments. Well, no, that's not true. If you're watching this on the replay on Facebook, you will be able to see the comments. If you are watching this on the replay on YouTube or on my blog, you won't be able to see the comments. That's why I read them out. Okay, so there you go. So that is now with all the sponging, and you can really see how those grout lines are really popping now. So we're just going to finish that card off, but first I'm going to check on the comments. Ooh, you are loving this technique. Thank you. I'm so pleased. Okay, so now what do I need to do? I need to do my greeting. So let me find my little, I've got some pearls there. So let's have a look. Birthday and happy. going to do the early espresso. And what I'm actually just going to do with this, you will have seen me do this a few times, I think. I just snip these out. And I will just see actually whether or not these will pop enough. I might have to put it on a different colour. Let's have a look. Oh no, that's fine. So again, I'm just snipping. This is one of my favourite ways of putting a greeting on at the moment. I just think it means that you can move the happy and the birthday in separate places. You can move them around a bit. So we've got the happy birthday there. And then I think I am going to do my little butterfly in crumb cake. And I'm going to cut them out. Now we have butterfly stamps that punch out, but this one is the one that actually comes in the positive thoughts set. So that's why I am using that one. Don't worry that I've snipped his antenna off. I will give him antenna back in a minute. It's hard to talk and fussy cut. Because I'm really concentrating. Ta-da. And I've got some little pearls as well that I might use in a second. Let's have a look. Ugh. Right. So I think I'm just going to put, ooh, I don't know. Let's move that up a bit, I think. I'll move that to there. Pop that like that. So in order to make sure I've got the antenna, I'm going to stamp the butterfly, and what I'm actually going to do is I want to put my butterfly somewhere where the antenna are not going to go into the grout lines. So that's why I was just kind of fiddling around with what I was doing, because I wanted to make sure that the antenna were clear. So that can go there like that, you see. Okay, so I'll get my Tombow. And pop that down, because you can't have a butterfly without antenna. That would just be sad. Oh, let me just move that down a smidgen. Get these bits. I seem to be missing my mini dimensionals. Let's have a look. Have I got any in here? Everybody needs mini dimensionals. If you haven't got them, you need them. Okay. So mini dimensionals are like a quarter of the size of normal ones. But failing that, use your edge strips. For little sentiments like that. And one more bit. Okay. just put that one down, and then I'll catch up with the messages. Hang on. There we go. Actually, that needs to come up a little bit. You can fiddle with cards for ages, can't you? Just like move that, there we go. Okay, I will finish it off in a second. So let's have a look. Oh, lots of clever, loving techniques. Good. Oh, Pat's saying it looks quilted. Yeah, that's exactly the effect that shading gives. That's really, thank you, Pat. That really makes sense. Oh, Anne is getting a scoreboard as part of her Christmas present. She says, so guess what she's going to be doing on Boxing Day? And that's really cool. And, you know, the scoreboard is a really key piece of kit. For me, I know that I can score using my trimmer. And I do use that a lot of the time, but I prefer to use the scoreboard. I don't know why. It's such a solid piece of kit, and because the score lines are like every 1/8 of an inch, it's just really cool. If you are not an inches crafter and you use centimeters, there is a board that you can put on the top of it that works in centimeters. So it's not a disaster if you work in centimeters. So I'm just going to pop that there, and you'll find, as always, once you put this on your mats and layers, it will pop a little bit. So what I need to do though is just put a little bit of stamping on the inside of this card. As well. It's not quite lined up. Let me just fix that. Got a bit of wonky line there on my card blank. That's better. Pop that on the inside. You'll always find that I put an inside layer in my cards. Gives you somewhere nice to write, and basically it's because I always use coloured card blanks. So that's why I do that. So this is going to go on the front. Then we're just going to add a few little gold pearls, I think. So for those of you that saw my blog post yesterday, using I did a Christmas card, bright pink. I used these pearls, and I got a few messages about the pearls actually, so I decided that I would put them on this card and then you would see them. So this is, I'm just trying to tidy up, honestly. I'm such a messy crafter. Hopefully that looks a bit better now. So these are they're called metallic pearls, and this is how they come in a pack. And I don't know how many, 242 pearls. You would never believe that, would you? That's madness. But there's silver ones. They're the ones that I was using yesterday. But these are the gold ones, so I'm going to use the gold ones today. And both the silver and the gold, they are like soft gold, soft silver. Not really sort of blingy. There you go. 3, 5. Let's go for 5. Can't have too many sparkly bits on the card, can you? Let's go. Ooh, one there. Move that one over a bit. and one down here. There we go. Okay, so there you go. There's the finished card. I'll bring it up a little bit so you can kind of see. And again, this is a flat card. I mean, obviously, I've got a bit of dimension here on the happy birthday, but not a huge amount. So there we go. Oh, thank you. I'm getting lots of happy messages about it. Lovely. I'm so pleased that you are liking it. And again, all this is your scoreboard. So let me just bring in these other two little bits. Oh, look at all the hearts. That's amazing. So again, so you can do this just straight lines and square. You can do this as I have done. To make your squares. If you start with a square piece, then you will get squares as well. But obviously I wanted to use the full area of this card. So I hope that has given you a new technique to add to your crafting arsenal, as it were, and you can go and play. I would love to see the cards and projects that you make. You can send me pictures, amanda@inspiringinkin.com, or post them in the Inspiring Inkin Crafting Corner group, which is a group for everybody, wherever you are in the world, to join. And we hang out there and talk about all sorts of crafts. So that's a really cool place to hang out. Scylla's saying she loves the card, she now needs a scoreboard. Yes, Scylla, you do. I'm sure Michelle can sort you out. Oh, that's brilliant. Claire, thank you. Brilliant. Okay, so I am going to love you and leave you for today. For those of you who are part of my Stampin' Up team, we have got training tonight at 7. So do make sure you're in the team group. It's a bit earlier this month. And for everybody else, I will see you here next week at 2 o'clock. For more craft and chat. If you are crochet craft alonging with me, I will see you then at 3:30 next week. But in the meantime, if you are starting your crochet journey and want to get a bit of practice in this week, I will be putting links in the crafting corner of videos and things that have helped, and you will be able to have a bit of a practice, and we can help you along your way. All right, so thank you so much, and I hope to see you all again soon. Bye.